So this is a quick video on the Zoom H8 handy recorder. I've been using it for about 6 months, and there are some sort of tips, tricks, and quirks to this that are scattered across Zoom's documentation. So I thought I'd just do a quick and dirty video. I am not a YouTuber. This is not a slick video. This is just quick and dirty. I play in a band. I'm sort of a weekend warrior, and this is used for live music recording. As you may know, the unit has 3 apps: a podcast app, a music app, and a field app. I will not be talking about the podcast app. I don't use it. So the first thing I'd recommend is you do a firmware update if you haven't already. As of the time of this recording, the most up-to-date firmware is version 2.20. So highly recommend you do a firmware update per instructions from Zoom. The field app versus the music app is very interesting for somebody like me who, is using this for live music capture. And I specifically wanted to make this video because a lot of people seem to be confused about a 2 gigabyte limit that they keep reaching. This information is in the manual on this topic, but it's kind of added to some footnotes. What's happening is on the music app specifically, the file size is capped at 2 gigabytes. And when you hit that 2 gigabyte limit, it stops recording entirely. But that's just on the music app. If you use the field app, there's also a 2 gigabyte limit. However, it does not stop recording. It spawns a second file, and it will continue seamlessly recording to another 2 gig file. So you will not lose any of your recording, and it will not stop recording. So for any of you folks looking to just capture live music, I'd recommend not using the music app. Use the field app. You'll get excellent quality with that as well. The music app seems to be geared more towards music production, semi-polished demos, panning, fading, effects, that sort of thing, multi-tracking, whereas the field app is just as it sounds. It's sort of for capturing live audio, whether it's music or outdoors in nature in real time. So for anybody hitting that 2 gig limit, it's because you're using the music app. Couple other quick things that a lot of people don't seem to know about. The factory XY mics, they actually rotate. You can hear them click into place. And what that's doing is changing the spread, the degrees from 90 to 120. So you can gently rotate these and they will click into place and sort of change the mic pattern to pick up a wider field. And there are it's hard to pick up on camera, but there's little indentations here that align with the 120 and 90 markings on the mics. Another interesting thing is here. There's a 1/8 or a 3.5 millimeter, however you want to put that, input jack for a separate standalone microphone like you might use during a speech or something like that. So I've seen very little discussed or documented on that jack or on how those microphones rotate. There's also on the back a mount for a tripod mount that screws right in, and that just happens to be a Zoom MA2 branded tripod mount that you can use. They do have like an advisory up on their website for third-party ones. Apparently, if there's a gap around that screw here, it can cause damage, and they will not warranty it. So just be mindful of that. But there is a mount on the back that some people don't seem to know about. One other very cool thing that I found with the unit, again, for recording live music, live bands specifically. Let me undo that. It's on hold. There is a feature related to the XY mic. If you drill in to this setting, for the XY mic to do a backup recording. I would recommend enabling that if you're out jamming on the weekends, just trying to capture the whole show. Unless you have a separate sound guy, myself and my band, we do not. So this recorder just sort of gets set in the room and forgotten about. But what this does is it creates a simultaneous secondary backup recording 12 decibels lower than what the standard track is recording at. So that's convenient if your recording starts to clip and distort, which basically makes it useless, and nobody's there monitoring it. You'll automatically have a redundant backup copy recorded 12 dB lower. I would highly recommend enabling that if you are jamming out in a live band like me and nobody's there to keep an eye on it. The last thing I'll mention, this battery meter seems to be pretty unreliable. If you put the 4 new AA batteries in there, of course it shows full, but within a short time later it seems to display half and then down to 1 bar. But I don't think it's accurate at all. Hopefully they fix that in a future firmware update. I'm typically jacked into the USB-C connector anyway, but that's something worth noting. Other thing, probably the last thing I'll mention, there's a headphone out jack and a line out jack. You should get yourself acquainted with that. Headphones are obviously good for just using headphones. I know some people tend to use this to feed like a mixer to pipe the audio out. I'd recommend using the line out for something like that if you're going to a mixer. They do output at different, like decibel levels, and there's a line out level control here as well. Anyway, just a few tips and tricks that may help people, particularly on that 2 gigabyte limit that I've seen people talking about. Have fun.